Hey Jude, take a sad song and make it better. Okay, so we're friends with David Frost, and he had a big TV show. So we actually played his intro music. Not amazingly well, but it's amazing that we played it. Anyway, here's David, who we'd known since his early days of coming down from Cambridge. I'd seen him in nightclubs around London. So he introduces us and we decide to sing. And we were using the backing track, but the opening shot is me singing live. The Musicians Union had put a ban on miming, which is a pity because we liked going on shows and miming. It was a sort of easy thing for us to do. We didn't really see that it made much difference. But anyway, we ended up making music videos. And this one, as an appearance on David's show, was directed by Michael Lindsay Hogg. And when we were talking about how it's going to be, I started talking to Michael about it could start simply, just to the band, as it does. And then as it goes on, start to reveal that there's a lot of people there. So we wanted to get lots of different types of people, lots of different nationalities, genders, creeds, etc. And people with different jobs, like a postman or a milkman or a nurse or whatever. So Michael took care of that side of things. And then there were some fans who always used to hang out outside Abbey Road. So we thought, well, they'd be great. So they came along to be part of the crowd. And so as we get into the song, the crowd start to appear. I'm waiting for them to appear now. Crowd, could you appear, please? I've said you're going to appear, and you're not appearing. Anyway, forget the crowd for a minute. Lots of lovely close-ups of these fab boys who are very good-looking 20-somethings. And it's great for me looking at this because, you know, just seeing our departed buddies and feeling the love. However, the crowd hasn't appeared, but they will. Dear listener, don't worry. So this was a nice opportunity to do Hey Jude, and as we weren't playing live at the moment, it meant that we could send this to places like America, around the world, Australia, etc., to promote the record. The record itself at the time was about 7 minutes long, and we were told that you could only get 3 minutes on a record. But suddenly the crowd appeared. Quite naturally at the na-na-na-na bit at the end. And we have a Sikh in a turban. We have some young fans, mods, hanging around the piano. And around Ringo. And around John. And at the foot of George, here we go, a bespectacled young man representing schoolboys of the world. And a young, looks like an army cadet, representing the army. Oh, then we have a lady there, festooned in the hairstyle of the period. That's one of the lovely things looking at, actually, just looking at the fashions and the hairstyles, etc. of all the people who take part. There she is in her Black Alice band, rocking along. The great thing about this is, you know, the idea of everyone coming together. Black and white, young, old, male, female, whatever. Basically, all the same under the skin. And so that gave it a kind of international appeal, which seems to be true to this day. Ah, there's a sailor. Representing everyone on the high seas. Judy, 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 come on down now. It was a great song to make, this one. I think when we'd done it, we knew that it was going to be something that the people would probably like. Although I do remember the first time I heard it on the radio, there was a radio DJ who played it right till the bitter end. And then just as it finished, he said, "There you are, my friends. Either you like it or you don't." Now there, Bill, with the Carnation, there was a guy, it's kind of like a homeless guy who used to hang out outside the editing studios in Soho, in Old Compton Street, where we edited Magical Mystery Tour. I thought we were going to have just a couple of weeks in there, just putting all the footage together, but in actual fact it was 11 weeks. There were things like clapperboards that normally let the film editor know where he is in the film. We'd omitted to do those on a lot of the footage, so quite a wild period. But it was good fun, and we managed to put it together somehow. Bill with his Carnation would always be outside, and we'd see him talking to himself, holding his little bottle up as he does in the video. And he would look up to the heavens above, as if addressing God in his mind, and sort of a little questioning look like, "Is it okay if I have a drink?" And then he'd get approval, so he'd go, "All right, thank you." And he'd have a drink. So we became friends anyway. We'd see him every day. We got to know him. We invited him into the editing room, and eventually into the filming of Hey Jude. I don't know what he's doing with that little cardboard tucked under his arm. That could be his bed for the night. Hey Jude. Penny Lane. We asked the director, Peter Goldman, who we'd met in a club and who had filmed Strawberry Fields for us, to come up with an idea for our song Penny Lane. So naturally he shot some stuff up in Liverpool, but he actually shot our stuff in East London because of our availability at the time. And so we showed up just in our normal clothes and pretty much did what he asked us to do. Walk past this alleyway. Okay. Walk along this road. Okay. And then he said, "Get up on these horses." Well, I think we'd been up on horses probably once before in our lifetime. And if you look at the video, I must say it shows. But it was good fun, and the horses pretty much behaved themselves. So we had these red jackets on, reminiscent of the hunting jackets that Britain was famous for. And we rode these white horses. Oh, wait a minute, there's a brown one. Now, we could just about handle them, but Ringo was really not a horseman. And, you know, that's a whole lot of horse if you don't know what to do with it. And so his ran off with him. My big memory of the shoot was always saying, where's Ringo? It was like, that's him disappearing in the distance over the horizon on this galloping white horse. So 3 white horses and a brown one. And Ringo disappearing off to Penny Lane, probably. Anyway, on the stuff that was shot in Liverpool, you see Penny Lane itself with the old Barbers, which is now has a different name, but this was the original Barber that we'd known up there, Violetti. I see that our road manager there, Mal, got in the scene as a footman. Now we start to trash the gaff. The table is upturned, and the champagne and the food is thrown to the ground. We wanted to make a video for Hello Goodbye, so the location was chosen as the Savile Theatre, which Brian Epstein had been renting to put on some shows when the theatre was dark. Basically, I think it was Sunday night. So, and we'd seen a lot of great shows there, including Jimi Hendrix and great rock and roll performers. We used to have our own little special box that we could access from the road, so it was a very cool scene for us. Anyway, we got our Sgt. Pepper costumes on and got on the stage with our amps and drum kit and equipment. I've got my old Rickenbacker there. And we basically just mimed to the track. And I kind of directed it in as much as anyone did. And just sort of said, okay, get a stick of camera up here, let's have a look. Yeah, that looks good. Film us doing that take. Now do a close-up. Let's have a close-up of George. And now let's have another close-up of John, etc. And we get George moves out the way and we get Ringo's drum solo. And so we just shot loads of angles of us playing the song through. And in our Sgt. Pepper costumes. And John did a couple of classic Elvis moves. And then we put our Beatle jackets, round collars on, and we waved at the camera. So we just thought of anything we could do to fill a music video. Shot anything that came into our heads. And it worked quite well on the edit. You know, it's like all the stuff from this time, it very much captures the colours and the psychedelic feeling of those times. And there we are waving again. So it's a nice little piece. And we wanted to keep it very simple, didn't want any elaborate ideas. We thought the best thing to do, promote the song, was to do a little video, knowing that the Musicians Union wouldn't allow us to mime, but we knew people would show it somewhere, and they did. And then at the end we decided, well, it sounds very Hawaiian, hey la, heba, helloa, so let's get some hip-shaking girls in, and put them in grass skirts, and let's get them to shake their booty all over the place, which, as you could see, they did very successfully. And we were amused and entertained by that, and that is as close as we got to choreography.
We're actually playing the theme song for the David Frost show. Man, that we all knew, it blows my brain.
Magnificent. A perfect rendition. Ladies and gentlemen, there you see the greatest tea room
This is us doing Hey Jude on the David Frost Show, and as you just saw, or didn't see, or heard, we did the jingle to his show. And one of the great memories of this, which is more as at the end, when all the audience got up on the rostrum with me, and they were all singing la 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 la. It was really a great moment. I loved it because we were surrounded. It was like, yeah, let's go. So that's the big memory for this one. Now I'm going to go right to that end and see if it's true. Yes, it is. There they all are. That was such a great memory. It was such a great night. You know, because we were all sort of cocooned in a way, and suddenly we're surrounded. It was so great. And I got a chance to sing. Peace and love. And Elaine, this is all very nice, but wait till we get to this other part. Four boys hanging around. What's up there? They don't do shots like that anymore. There's a surprise coming right now. The boys on horseback. The boys didn't know how to ride. These were monster giant animals who were sitting on their backs. See mine tried to run away. So the memory was pretty damn scary. There we go, yeah! Penny Lane. Okay, that's enough of that. Oh, he wants to go somewhere else. Oh. Anyway, we could have a lot of fun just playing it and talking about it. But that was one of our earliest so-called videos, and somebody had the bright idea, I don't know who, let's put them on horses. Big horses. And that's what happened. Okay. That's a great shot. Look at that guy. Okay. Zoom in on that shot. Yep. Are you zooming? Yep. And now. This really was us trying to get another wear out of those pepper suits. And, you know, we were on stage and, you know, we're doing this hello, goodbye, and with the la, la. And we're all dressed up, and so what else can I do? So I decided to keep changing the drum set. The drum kit in this shot is very small. And then we go to this shot, and in this shot, drums the giant. Oh, back to the small kit. We just needed the big drums for the drum fills. And we dressed up in all this old gear. It was great. And then enter the hula girls. You know, it was a good idea at the time, and it seems my memory is going. There was very little of the big kit. It was all the little kit really, bar for the one fill. But it was colourful, and gave us a day to do something together, which was always good. Yeah, Get Back, you know, I mean, I think we've all told the stories about Get Back when we were on the roof, you know, because the Beatles had this thing, you know, oh, let's do the video, let's go to Hawaii, to the volcano, or let's go to the pyramids, oh, let's go on the roof, okay. And that's what we did, and we hadn't played live in a long time, not a long time, a while, and you know, there's a lot of complaints from the bank next door, and people were complaining. A lot of people loved it, but there were complaints, and so the police came. And it would have been, for me, a much better video, because I was like playing, and they pulled the plug out the amps, and George put it back in, and I was playing away, and I said, oh, come on. In my mind, just come and drag me off the drums. You know, would have been, whoa, okay, I thought that would have made the track a lot better, or the documentary a lot more interesting. But the interesting part about this, though, was the Beatles. They hadn't been seen in years, they're playing live, you know, and they're only the crew could see us and some people on the rooftop. But the two people who were sitting there watching us, and you can just see here in this corner, is Yoko, and next to her is Maureen. So that was our real audience, the two women. Yeah, well done, boys. So I've always liked the idea of all of that, you know, that people there'd have been, you know, I don't know, 500,000 people would have come to see us just do that, if they could have got there, but just Yoko and Maureen were applauding us. I also forgot to mention Billy Preston came to hang out. Play something, Bill. You could play in here. Which he did, and he's on the roof with us. Go, Billy. Oh, there he is. There's Billy, look at him. So great. You know, Billy Preston is a hero of mine, and he never put his hands in the wrong place. Such a beautiful player.